shared 3 similarities. Turned out that North Carolina and Rhode Island shared 3 similarities. But are they very close together? I mean, here's North Carolina and here's Rhode Island clear up here. But they had some similarities, which is kind of interesting. Number 1, these 2 colonies actually were the most democratic colonies of the 13 when we get to them all. They were the most democratic. What's that mean? People have full say, so to speak, in their government, right? And the way they choose to view their religious beliefs and everything. So actually, Rhode Island and North Carolina were the most democratic colonies. They were also the most independent-minded. What's that mean? Independent-minded. You guys are pretty independent-minded here. Shriver's very independent-minded. He can think on his own. What?
They think for themselves.
Think for themselves. Maybe if they don't agree with you, or maybe they'll ask a question like Mason, well, how much do those slaves cost? He's an independent thinker. He's thinking while I'm talking about something else, he's thinking, well, I'd really like to know what those slaves cost. That's an independent thinker. And so the 2 colonies of North Carolina and Rhode Island were the most independent-minded or independent-thinking colonies. And third, they were the least what? Hannah? What was your word? They were the least aristocratic of all the 13 colonies. Those 2 were the least aristocratic. In other words, they had less upper-class people in those colonies than any others. And maybe that's why they turned out to be more independent thinkers and gave more rights to each other. It's kind of a weird deal. There was no uppity feeling in Rhode Island or in North Carolina. They had not that aristocratic attitude there. Okay. We're missing one more southern colony. It'll be the last one of the 13, and it is?
Florida.
No, Florida's good. No, Florida. That's a good question. Georgia. Late coming Georgia, which they considered a buffer colony. That's going to be, who said Florida? Seriously. No, but I'm telling you, it's going to be a good point because Georgia is going to be a buffer between the other 12 colonies and Florida, who's owned by Spain. Very good. So late coming Georgia, the buffer colony. And we'll get to that tomorrow because I cannot stand not to look up that, see how much a slave cost during that time for answering questions.
That was good timing, Derek.